Okay, so this was the week where Americans' so-called greatest alpha male launched a very beta website that was, to use their terminology, immediately cucked by trolls. That's right. Donald Trump's new media venture called Trump Media and Technology Group launched an early version of the site Truth Social, which is supposedly a safe space for people to lie publicly. What is Truth Social? How does it work? Well, it's basically like a Twitter, but for the far right. So let me explain. The site looks almost entirely like a Twitter clone. A user can post truths, which are like tweets, or retruths, which are retweets, which means if you untweet something, you would untruth it. There's also a news feed called the Truth Feed, a notification system so users can know who interacts with their truths. The social network's app store profile states. All right. Well, how does Trump Media and Technology Group, or TMTJ, how do they see themselves? This is part of their deck. You know that word deck. It's like, new PowerPoint for tech assholes. They call themselves a massive market opportunity, building a non-cancelable global community, also known as the easiest FBI honey trap for catching January 6th insurrectionists. Like, it's a little unfair. It's like super obvious. Okay, here's what else they say. This is another slide.
Geez.
This is a slide that says
it's like the short bus of Parlor.
Exactly. Galvanizing a conservative media universe. And here you have TMTJ in the middle, which is like the moon or the earth, and then a bunch of meteors heading right to it. Except it also kind of looked like sperm swimming to an egg. So you've got Newsmax and Rumble and Fox and OAN just sort of ready to inseminate.
Just on this slide, like my, being a nerdy man of my age, when I see TMTJ, my brain scans it as TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so then I need to pause a minute and be like, does this have to do with radioactive turtles raised in the sewer who are also ninjas fighting crime?
I love that. And also they even have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Plus. Because everyone's got a plus. And guys, if you didn't know what this is, like, in case you're wondering, I don't know if you've heard of streaming platforms. They're this whole thing. I don't know if you've heard of Netflix, or Disney Plus, but
or as my children call it, Hobo Max.
TMTJ Plus is like an on-demand streaming service that will provide news, Big Ten entertainment, exciting documentaries, sports programming, and more. Yeah, please. I'd like to see what sports deal. And then there's a picture of Trump handing out a giant trophy to a sumo wrestler. So I think maybe sumo is the answer to what kind of sports. They're trying to let you know that they're going to be bigger than Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu. So how did the rollout work? Well, there were immediate technical and security problems. People immediately snatched up VIP handles like, quote, Donald Trump and Mike Pence. The person who grabbed Donald J. Trump swiftly pinned a photo of a pig defecating onto its own testicles on their profile. That site has been pulled offline, but at least other test versions have been circulating as well, suggesting striking technical vulnerabilities. Let me just say that photo of the pig defecating onto its testicles, that's good content right there. Like say what you will, but that's good shit.
I don't know how it's going to work for them, because like they're going to need to recruit some number of like women and Jews to be on Truth so that they can give them death threats. Otherwise, like, what are they even going to be able to do?
Yeah, exactly. They have no reason to. It's very like, yes, Waiting for Godot, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern sort of. It's very existential. It is like if a right winger owns, but no one is around to hear it, did they really own anybody kind of thing.
Sure.
It's
My favorite
super
thing
philosophical.
my favorite thing about the announcement is Trump said in a statement, "We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced." And look, I spent a fair amount of time on Twitter. You know how we all follow the Taliban, how like all of our favorite Twitter feeds are like, Taliban kebabs, like Taliban selfies. Just a lot of Taliban guys like doing this so that their chin looks right, so you don't see their double chin in the selfie.
Taliban in just like hot leggings and stuff that like make their booty look good. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of Taliban reels, like planking and whatever.
Oh my god, I love the Taliban plank feed. That they really hold it for a long time. It's crazy because like that. At once you're like, oh yeah, I guess the Taliban is still on Twitter, but also what does that say about your presidency? The Taliban is following Twitter guidelines and your ass has to start a whole new network. Obviously this entire thing is going to fail. I don't even know who's funding it. It is really just shiny 4chan. It is 4chan plus. This is like
I mean,
Gab.
Francesca, the answer to your question is in your question, which is the Taliban, like, Trump isn't on Twitter because he tried to overthrow the U.S. government. If he was on Twitter advocating, like, trying to overthrow other governments, he would still be on Twitter. You know what I mean? If Trump was on Twitter being like, I plan to invade Uruguay, Twitter wouldn't care. He'd still be on Twitter.
You're like, yeah, we still keep who's his name? God, who's the golpista from Venezuela who declared himself the president? I erased his name from my mind.
Isn't it Uribe?
No. From Venezuela. The
Guaido.
Guaido.
Yeah.
Guaido.
Thank you.
Oh God. Yeah, no, it is, but it's like they, I realize this is the last thing I'll say on this. You're never gonna get rid of hate speech. And in some ways, I am for democratization of the internet and breaking up big tech. So I'm like, good. Have your own awful platforms. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I don't think it is good to, as is the case with 4chan and 8chan and whatever, like fucking live stream, mass murder. That's awful, right? And therefore, people should be held liable for some things that are on their platform. Anyway, there's a lot of discussion on this. In fact, they know that they could be held responsible for the things that people post on, the whatever the hell it is, Truth Social. So remember how Trump was like, Section 230, we need to abolish it. We need to get rid of it. Section 230 prevents platforms from being sued for the content that is on, that people publish on them. So they're saying, the company is, quote, not responsible for any third-party content posted on, available through, and installed from the site, including its content accuracy, offensiveness, opinions, or reliability. And it has the right to censor you. So the site portrays itself as a refuge for free speech, uncensored by big tech, but it will ban any content that would disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm us and or the site. So basically, you can't @Jack on Truth Social. You can't, no say no mean stuff. Hurt the fifis. Also, the funniest rule, and I don't know if this is true, but we'll see when it launches for realsies. Apparently, the site's terms of service list that some rules would hamstring Trump himself. The site will ban excessive use of capital letters, which is a hallmark of Trump's online screeds. And let me say, like, I might join it just for that. Because, like, I really hate all caps. Like, why are you yelling? Why? And Trump doesn't know how to capitalize. The only reason he all caps is because he's unclear what a proper noun is compared to a non-proper noun. He's completely clueless. You know how everything is like the capital nation, the capital sidewalk, my capital home. Like, he doesn't actually know how lowercase and capital letters work. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.